Good evening and welcome everyone to this webinar on exploring the different careers in languages and literature. The webinar is being hosted in collaboration with the Center for Career Development and the Jindal School of Languages and Literature. We have with us Mr. Jitin Chawla, eminent career counselor, an MBA graduate from one of the topmost business institutes of India, Faculty of Management Studies, University of Delhi. Mr. Chawla is the founder and director of North India's oldest and topmost career counseling firm, Center for Career Development, located in Delhi. Within a span of 21 years, he and his team of counselors have done almost 36,000 plus workshops, 360 plus career fairs, and counseled over a lakh students. He is a member of National Career Development Association, United States of America, and actively participates in international conferences in various countries. Welcome, sir. Mr. Dennis Philip Leighton is Professor and Dean in the Jindal School of Languages and Literature, OPJINDAL Global University. He worked at the University of Delhi at Ambedkar University, Delhi for over 15 years and has been on the faculty of several US colleges and universities since 1990. He has taught and researched in several areas of history, European studies, and global studies. He holds a degree from University of Virginia and Washington University, St. Louis, studied at Albert Ludwig's University in Germany, and was a Middle Common Room Associate of Mansfield College, University of Oxford. He has been the recipient of several fellowships and research grants. We're very honored to have you with us, sir. Mr. Chawla will now be taking over.
Thanks a lot, Kunalika. Thank you. People, when we were discussing about this program, I just remembered one of my batchmates, and she used to love English. She would love writing, and she would write poems, articles, and so on. And I still remember her mom would be asking her, "Okay, you are interested in English, but what is it that you'll do further, do in future?" And uh, and at times she would be like, when she was younger, when she was in 11th class, so she would not know. She would say, "No, I love English, I'll do something with it." Now, today, if I look at, of course, she subsequently went into advertising. She worked with O&M, one of the world's largest advertising agencies. She worked with McCann. She worked with top agencies and did so well in her career that I can't tell you. So initially, a lot of students keep on asking me as a career counselor. I face this on a daily basis, where people say, "Look, I'm interested in foreign languages. I'm interested in English as a language." I in fact got a student who was interested in Hindi also. Yeah, and why not? And why not? Yeah. So language helps us communicate. Language is something which opens up barriers. So today, that's why this topic has been selected, and we'll discuss in detail. I have a very senior professor with me who will be also sharing his ideas. But quickly, we have made a small presentation, so I would discuss this, and then I'm sure I'm seeing a lot of people who are here. Kavita Chawla, I can see excited, so I'm sure you're excited about understanding what are the different options. Hi Vanshika, hi Ishan, Dipanshi. Great. So I welcome all of you to the show, and you can keep on writing in the comments, and I'll be happy to speak in between, also take up your questions. Okay. Dr. Shabnam, good evening and welcome to the show. So let's start understanding languages. 20 most spoken languages in the world. Next. So I'll discuss this also. I'll discuss careers also. Quickly, I'll go about it, and then Dr. Dennis will come and he'll share in detail. So, of course, English is the topmost spoken language in the world, which we all understand. Mandarin Chinese, though it's not easy to learn. I have students. I in fact know a teacher also, but then it's prevalent all over. Spanish, French, Portuguese, Hindi, Russian. Hindi is also, yeah, amongst top six languages. You can find Hindi also, and so on. Yeah, in fact, you'll find Bengali, you'll find Punjabi. So a lot of Indian languages in top 20. Yes. Next. Good evening, Princey, Raina, and good evening, Anamika. So So English is an official language of a lot of continents. Guys, I've been sharing with you guys earlier that I travel a lot. So of course, I mean, when one travels, so one would use English. I was told by people that when you go to Europe, it'll be difficult, but everywhere English is accepted. Countries like Netherlands, even for studying, we have sent students, so English is being used. So across the world, somehow English got really, really popular. And one of my friends, in fact, he's from Azerbaijan, a small country, and he went to US to do his undergrad. He came back to Istanbul. He started teaching English. Today, he has got 10 centers in Istanbul. He does IELTS training, English, as well as he helps people in admissions. In fact, I met him at one of the international conferences. And he said, I just used to love the language. And today, he has established such a good network of chain of institutes there. I know somebody else who's in Kuwait right now teaching English. So, like Gulf region, if you're an English teacher, oh, you can charge good money. You can build up a great career for yourself. You can work with a school, college, or you can run an independent center also. Whenever I travel across to Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Dubai, I find people, a lot of residents there asking about how do I improve on my English language. Yeah. So good evening, Remy from Aisha School. Welcome. Hi, Mithun. Next. So I'll speak about job opportunities, which would remain for most of the this thing. Mandarin Chinese. Yeah, this is the most populous country in the world. Also, like you come with me to Canada, you'll find Chinatown. London, Chinatown. US, so many Chinatowns. Yeah. So many Chinese outside the country also. All the places. All the places. Yeah. But it's a difficult language. Yeah, 50,000 different characters compared to English language, 26 letter characters. Yeah, but then a lot of Indians have been learning this also. A lot of trade is there, not only with India, but with a lot of countries across the world. Next. Good evening, Harshi. Tarana, I'll take up the question. How do I learn Mandarin? I'll talk about it. Give me some time. Okay, Spanish. You know, so it came up from Europe and people living in Spain and US also. It is spoken quite widely. Yeah, 537.9 million speakers. So third number in the list of languages. Yeah, so you can look at this also. Next, but quite a few people learn Spanish. French, it is known as a romantic language also, originated from Latin and one of the most beautiful languages. So French is not only spoken in France, but nearby areas, even Canada, Quebec region, you'll find French being spoken. You know, South America, you'll find French being spoken. So quite a few places, even in India, people have taken French and they have built up careers around it. Next, Portuguese. So, Portuguese people think that it is the official language of Brazil and Portugal. It is again an official language in a lot of other countries also, like Angola, like Mozambique, Equatorial Guinea, Macau, and so on. Even Goa, if you go, there's a very strong Portuguese culture in India. Yeah. So again, it is one of the fifth most spoken language in the world. So we can think of this also. Next, Hindi. I'm sure all of you understand Hindi. So a lot of people in India, in fact, the number is above 120 million. So definitely we can, in case you're interested, you're already, I- like all of us would know how to speak right in Hindi. It's taught in our schools. We can explore this also. Next. Good evening, Ishika. So Russian. So Russian language again, 258 million people speak Russian. Official language of Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. So around the world, again, it is spoken. Russia has 2.3% of global population. So yes. So again, some Indians they go for medical career in Russia, Ukraine. So this language comes in handy at that time. Next. So you could use any of these. My favorite is Duolingo. Very easy interface. So Duolingo you can use and you can use it to build up your language. Like some people want to try out a certain language also, so use Duolingo. I somehow was enamored by Philippines. Couple of my friends stay there, and I thought I'll just learn, so I just went on to this. Or today on YouTube also you'll find each language has their own channel, so you can start using it. Fluence, Signed It ASL, Pimsleur, these are other places, other apps you can use. Next. So, so this was some quick brief, but what kind of jobs you could look at? You could be a researcher, you could be an interpreter. Like I had a friend at Nuclear Software, which is working with big companies in Korea and Japan. So, so they would always have translators sitting in meetings. Yeah. So it is like a Japanese company, Japanese executives are sitting, Indians who have to do the programming, they are sitting. So you could look at being a political risk analyst. You're working with a consulting company which is helping other companies with this. You could be into teaching, you could be into journalism, diplomatic service, detective, yeah. So, education consultant, of course, teaching, like I have discussed with you earlier, lot of application and trade also. So, I have students who are interested in language. We shared with them, okay, you can do language plus international trade programs and build up yourself. So, maybe you're working with an export company like LT Overseas exports thousands of tons of rice out of India. Yeah. So if one of my friends also is a rice exporter, so he needs to know Arabic because like his market is Gulf. So when he goes there, he's participating in Gulf foods, other big events. If he knows Arabic, his work becomes 10 times more easier. Yeah. So things like those. Tarana sign language. I'll have to see which institution you can learn sign language. Yes, it is beneficial if you want to help people who are not able to speak. So yes, you can learn it, but I'll probably check up and then I'll tell you. Okay, so marketing, international trade, it is really really important. Publishing industry, yeah, publish a lot of, see something goes very popular, and it is published in so many languages. Like Nostradamus, so Nostradamus gave a prophecy, so it is published in across the world. So things like those, travel and tourism, yeah. So these are the jobs which has been there. Next. Shaurya, I'll tell you about Korean language. If you tell me like top three BTS songs. Okay, I'll tell you, Shaurya. So you are a linguist tour guide. You are a brand specialist. You are working in human resources. Yeah, you need to know the language. Yeah, intelligence operative. You are a YouTuber. You are researching. You are a data analyst, or you are in customs. Yeah. So a lot of Indians from here have gone across the world and they're in various jobs. So these are some jobs which we thought we'll highlight before you. Shaurya, idol, dynamite, butter. Good. Vanshika, very nice. So I'll take it up after some time. Let me just complete this. I have to speak about Chinese and Korean both. I'll take it up. Next, please. So basically, when you'll be applying for a job, uh, basically, how do you gather information? How do you participate in a group? So that is important. Of course, planning your own timelines, like your own time management is important. How to develop opinions and propose ideas. When you are reading through a lot of material, how do you pick out the essential points? So these are the things you will need to build upon. I would also suggest while you are while you are going through a foreign language course or even English language course, go for some exposure outside. So there are companies like Word Endeavors, Connect 123, which provide volunteerships and internships all over the world. I'll repeat, Connect 123 and Word Endeavors. So these are bodies which help students from anywhere in the world go anywhere else in the world. 3 weeks to 3 months of internship. Of course, ISET, AIESEC is a student body which helps students do the same thing without any charges. Yeah. So ISEC can get you internships. You are in India, you can go for internship in Poland, you can go to Malaysia, lot of countries. But if you still want specific countries, you can use Connect 123. Okay. So maybe I will stop here, and I'll come back to you and do more. But I will let Dr. Dennis also speak to you and give you details about specific languages and also what is happening at OP Jindal. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening. So I would invite Dr. Dennis to speak to you. And I can see your questions, but I'll address it slightly later. So just hang in there, and I'll be back in some time. Dr. Dennis.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I'm just trying to share my screen here so that I can show my PowerPoint presentation. There we go. All right. So Mr. Chawla has told you some important things, some interesting information about the globality of languages, right? How many people speak particular languages, where in the world they are. Uh, Even though he didn't go into detail, he mentioned that, of course, there are several languages which maybe started from a fairly small homeland, such as Spain, right? Or English for that matter. Remember, in the time of Shakespeare, in the year around 1600, English was spoken only by about 5 million people in the whole world. And almost all of those people were in England, right? So now, of course, English is the language that's spoken most widely across the world by hundreds of millions of people. So that's something to keep in mind, right? That there are several languages that have spread beyond their original homelands. So English is one of those languages. Spanish is another. Okay, Spanish is spoken by more than 500 million people around the world. But only about 10% of those people, fewer than 50 million of the Spanish speakers, are in Spain itself. The country with the largest population of Spanish speakers in the world today is, in fact, Mexico, which has about 120, 125 million people, almost all of whom speak Spanish. So that's something to keep in mind, that there are languages which are truly global as well as international. They may be official languages in more than one country, and even if they're not official languages, they're spoken by large numbers of people in several different countries. So one of the interesting things about Spanish today is that the largest Spanish-speaking population is in Mexico. There's a very large population of Spanish speakers in the United States, something like 40 million, and a growing population of Spanish speakers in places like Canada and Australia. Okay, so several languages are global, not only because they have large numbers of speakers, but because they're spoken by people in many different countries. Now, learning languages itself is a fascinating thing to do, and you might be fascinated by words and communications and know something about the main language that you speak, whether the main language you speak is Hindi or English or Punjabi, Bangla, whatever. By this point in your life, you probably actually know two languages already, and you actually have well developed skills at learning languages. And it may not be very difficult for you to take on a third or even a fourth language. One thing I want to point out here, since I'm talking about the new programs of my university in our new School of Languages and Literatures, is that to start an undergraduate program called, for instance, BA Honors English or BA Honors Spanish, means that you're not only learning the language, right? You are embarking on or continuing a fascinating journey in which you learn about communication and culture and how languages make us who we are. Remember that in a lot of ancient societies, including ancient India, learning languages, philology, an ancient Greek word, philology means love of words, right? A truly educated person was supposed to know the words in more than one language, and it was understood in ancient India and ancient Greece and ancient China, um, in several other important ancient civilizations, that you become who you are. You learn something not only about others but about yourself by exploring language. And if you embark on an undergraduate language program or something called BA Honors English or Spanish, or for that matter, Hindi or Punjabi, you're actually not only learning the language, you're learning the literature of that language, and you're learning about other cultural expressions or other cultural products, right? So you're learning about film, you're learning about drama, you're learning about music. You're actually having a kind of total cultural immersion. There are a couple of slides here that I'm just whizzing through very quickly. I don't think I really need to say any more about what makes a language global and what are the most global languages, because Mr. Chawla already covered that. But I would like to point out that Jindal Global University is launching two new full language and literature programs, BA Honors English and BA Honors Spanish. However, the university has a global languages center which teaches several other languages also, not only Spanish, but French, German, Arabic, Chinese, and Farsi. Farsi is modern Persian, what's spoken in Iran. And the Global Languages Center is something that any student of the university has access to in order to receive instruction in any of those languages. What's new here with our Jindal School of Languages and Literature is that for the first time, we're going to have two full undergraduate degree programs. And as I mentioned already, those are BA Honors English and BA Honors Spanish. So these two new BA Honors programs, as I said, not only teach you the language, they introduce you to the literature of that language and to other cultural expressions, cultural products like film, drama, music, and so on, so that you experience a total cultural immersion. And each of these programs involves several internships that you do over the 3-year period of the program, that give you an opportunity to apply what you've learned in the classroom by working with some organization or enterprise. It can be a government agency, it can be a non-governmental organization, it can be a business enterprise. There are all kinds of places where you can do an internship. And in fact, it's built into the structure of both of these programs, BA Honors English and BA Honors Spanish, to do several internships. So the slides that I'm showing you here, I'm kind of jumping back and forth between the two. For BA Honors, showing you the course structure of BA Honors English and of BA Honors Spanish. You can see that in some of these slides, it shows you where an internship happens. So the most important internships are after the second semester, that is at the end of the first full year, and then also at the end of semester 3. In addition to internships, another thing that makes these programs so interesting is that you have several study abroad opportunities. You will have the opportunity to spend maybe a month or 3 months or even 6 months studying your language, using your language 24/7 in a place where that language is the main medium of expression. So if you enroll in the BA Honors Spanish program, Jindal Global University has agreements with 17 separate universities in 7 different Spanish-speaking countries. So there are 5 agreements we have with 5 universities in Spain, but we also have another 12 agreements with universities in Argentina, in Chile, in Colombia, in the Dominican Republic, in Mexico, and in Uruguay. Okay, so that's an important feature of the BA Honors Spanish program is that you get to spend a significant amount of time in a Spanish-speaking country, and the learning, the formal learning that you do there, the credits you earn for the courses at that university will transfer back to Jindal Global University and be applied towards your degree. So it's not really something extra that you're doing, it's something that's actually part of your study program. Another thing I want to point out is that Jindal Global University has a very large faculty, and a very large number of the faculty have global experience. Most of the faculty are Indians, but there are also people like me who is from the United States. There are people from Canada, Ukraine, Russia, China, Belgium, Sweden, many other countries. So a large number of the faculty of Jindal Global University have had international exposure experience, and they bring that with them into the classrooms. So both the teachers who will be teaching you directly in the BA Honors Spanish program or in the BA Honors English program all have significant foreign experience, and many of them are native speakers of the language that they're teaching. Okay, so the people who are teaching BA Honors Spanish are not people who have simply learned Spanish for fun in a language institute in India or someplace. I mean, that's fine, but they're not people who've simply studied at a language institute for 6 months or a year or even 2 years. They're people who've usually spent at least 3, 4, 5 years of their lives learning in a Spanish-speaking country, and several of the faculty members are in fact native speakers of Spanish. Okay, so that combined with the fact that you have opportunities to study Spanish in 17 different universities and in one of 17 different universities around the world is a big bonus. Similarly, for English, we have agreements with several dozen, probably about 50 universities around the world in English-speaking countries. So again, if you're doing BA Honors English, you will have the opportunity to spend maybe 3 months or 6 months in a university in the United States or the UK or Australia, Canada, some other place where English is the native language or the main medium of instruction. Mr. Chawla has already told you what language learning is good for, and I don't really need to go over that. Again, he's already mentioned specific job possibilities and careers, but I will make a special plug for BA Honors English. BA Honors English is probably the most versatile and valuable undergraduate academic degree around the world, period. I'm not kidding, okay? Even 50 years ago, yes, obviously one could study BA, but over the past 40 or 50 years, BA Honors English has become a very popular choice in many universities around the world. So, and English studies, again, I'm saying is very versatile and valuable because it trains you not for a very specific career, like, you know, mechanical engineering or medicine. Those are all, of course, esteemed and valuable, useful professions. But English prepares you, BA Honors English prepares you very widely for a very wide range of jobs and careers. Okay, I hope I'm still audible and visible to you. Okay.
Yes, Dennis, you're audible and visible. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I've really finished my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you are interested in learning the particulars of, say, your eligibility for studying in the BA Honors English program or the BA Honors Spanish program of Jindal Global University, we can give you some information. You can also go to the university's website, and you will find links there to the admissions section, the admissions department, which is a very large unit of the university. You can also go to the webpage of the Jindal School of Languages and Literature and find out information there about the specific programs. and also about the eligibility conditions. The last thing I will say about eligibility is that you do not have to have done arts and humanities as your secondary school stream to go into BA Honors English or BA Honors Spanish. You can enter those programs from any stream. You can enter from natural sciences, engineering, commerce. There's no secondary school study stream which isn't allowed. Okay, so there are very broad criteria of eligibility. There are certain requirements in terms of the score or the percentage you must have in particular languages. Again, you can go to the website and the webpage of the school in order to get that information. But I'll simply say that if you want to apply for BA Honors English, you have to have 50% minimum, at least 50% in your English language portion of your Class 12 exam. If you want to do BA Honors Spanish, it's not required that you have marks in English, but you have to have at least 50% in any other language for which there is examination in Class 12. In other words, if the language that you do in Class 12 is Punjabi or Bangla or Malayalam or Hindi, as long as you have minimum 50% in that language portion of your Class 12 exams, you are eligible for admission to BA Honors Spanish. Also, we do require either SAT, that is Scholastic Aptitude Test scores from you, or if you don't have that, we have our own in-house proficiency exam called JSAT, Jindal Scholastic Aptitude Test, which the university administers. It's kind of a substitute for the SAT. So there are a lot more details I can tell you, but I think I will stop for now. I can take some questions in the chat if someone wants to. Okay, so I see one chat here. It says, how do I select language in 12th for graduation? I don't want to sound completely ignorant, but I'm a foreigner and I didn't complete my secondary schooling in India. But I do know that, of course, particularly if you're in the arts and humanities stream, you can choose English as one of your examination subjects. And of course, there are other languages that you can be examined for also in your Class 12, okay? The key thing here is that you don't have to come from the arts and humanities stream. You can also, you can come from other study streams also, so it's not restrictive in that way. I'm going to try to get to my presentation again here, access it, and show the right slide. Okay, so one question here is, I want to learn a foreign language, but I'm confused which language should be the best for me to start learning at this age. As I said, you have reason to be confident because most of you are already effectively bilingual. Whether English is your first language, if English is not your first language, it's probably your second language. You already grew up in your household speaking a language like Hindi or Punjabi or maybe Tamil, okay? So you already actually have embedded language learning skills. I think you should, you should learn something about each of the different languages that can be learned. As I said, in Jindal Global University, it's possible to get instruction in several different languages: Spanish, German, French, Arab, and Farsi. But only Spanish and English are the languages that you can do a complete undergraduate program in at this point in our university. So if you're interested in Jindal Global University, you really only have two choices: BA Honors Spanish or BA Honors English. If you're asking the question more generally, what language is for you, Mr. Chawla told you a little bit about some apps and some programs that you can access online, and maybe you can take a couple lessons or sit in a couple classes and just see what you like, whether it's Chinese, whether it's Spanish, whether it's French. And that might be a good way to see which language is for you. Okay, I'm having trouble accessing my slide presentation here, so I'm not able to show the slides, but there is a chat that has come up that says to connect with the Jindal School of Languages and Literature. It gives you a phone number of Ms. Malini or Ms. Mahima, and it gives their email addresses. And as I said, if you go to the Jindal Global University website, right on the home page, you'll see a tab for admissions, and that will take you to show you some information about the different programs and what their details are and what the eligibility is. Okay. So study of languages can be very exciting. You can look at it in a kind of, I might say, narrowly vocational way. There's nothing wrong with thinking about a language as a tool, something that might help you if you want to pursue a career in business or in law. It's always good to learn a foreign language or two in case you are actually working with people from that environment, or if you even want to, spend some time as part of your profession working in a foreign country. What I'm trying to say here, though, is that more broadly, study of languages is actually study of literature and culture also. So you're actually having a whole immersion where you're not only learning the skill of speaking and understanding and speaking the language, you're also becoming familiar with its literature and its other cultural products. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're doing a full BA honors program in whatever language, yes, you're going to be learning the language, but you're also going to be studying a lot of poetry, a lot of fiction, a lot of non-fiction literature. You'll also be looking at a lot of films in those languages and learning about things like drama and music. Okay, so it's really a cultural immersion as well as an opportunity to learn particular language skills. So I think I'll stop for now, unless someone wants to feed me a couple of more questions in the chat. Okay, my colleague Ms. Malini is showing a slide here which gives some numbers
I think
and web.
some net connectivity issue. It's taking some time.
Okay. It's very simple. If you go on the internet to jgu.edu.in, in 1 or 2 steps, you'll find whatever you want. As I said, there's an admissions tab there, and that will take you, show you information. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
So in a couple of steps, once you go to the home page, you can go to the web page of the Jindal School of Languages and Literature. You can also click on the admissions tab, which will take you to information about all of the undergraduate programs that are available in the university, including BA Honors Spanish and BA Honors English.
How do I wait? I have to stop sharing. It is taking some time, no?
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing from my side. Maybe that'll make it easier for someone else to show their slides.
This is the PPT, huh?
So what you can do is you can click on share entire screen and open the tab that has your PPT or the PDF you want to share. You can do it on entire screen.
Hello.
There
yes.
you go.
So am I audible?
Yes, you are, and we can see the screen, and the slide shows career opportunities.
Yeah. Sorry about the glitch. So this is about the career opportunities which students have been asking. For Jindal School of Languages and Literature, students can get into industries like television and media. They can become a journalist or a print editor, a producer, or they can also become events promoting managers. They can get into travel and tourism, where both English and Spanish are very well used. So, hospitality is one industry, television and media is another industry. Also, arts curator, publisher, designer, being in the ads agencies, museum exhibits, and program designer are other aspects or profiles where students who are good and excelling in English or Spanish can be a part of. Also, embassies or multinational companies where translators are much needed, Spanish speakers will be well asked for. The other aspects in careers would be media relations, government, and other businesses. Also, becoming a tour guide, which was also covered by Mr. Jitin Chawla. You can become a YouTuber, internet influencer, public relations consultant, or a human resource director. So, any of these opportunities, if they excite you, you can take a picture of this slide and we'll be very happy to take more questions on this. The other questions that we have received from the audience are related to Jindal admission process. So I would like to show you the other slide and move forward. Please take a quick click of this particular slide so that we can move forward. So these are some of the slides which are about life on Jindal campus, where we have festivals and cultural events hosted annually and also on a semester-wise basis. Biswamil, which is one of the biggest student festivals, and Magnus, which is a sports festival on the Jindal campus, excites a lot of audience and pulls in a lot of crowd. The other clubs which are also very enticing are like the Debate Society, Human Rights Society, English Literary Society, which is also relevant to Literature and Languages School at OPJINDAL. We have
Excuse me,
Model
Ms.
United
Malini.
Nations. Yes.
Excuse me, Ms. Malini, are you showing the slide for those? I see the slide that says career opportunities. I know you have slides for the festivals and so on also, just
Yes.
to know whether you had moved
So
on.
I am sharing the next slide, but I am wondering if the audience can see it properly or not.
Malini, can you click on slideshow and full screen?
Okay, 1 second. Slideshow, okay.
Yeah,
Can
okay.
you click on slideshow and
Yeah,
full screen?
is it visible now?
Yes, the slide that's visible says admission process.
Slide
correct.
is visible, but it is not on full screen.
I have put on full screen, Ribhu.
Can you click on share once more? Share.
We'll have to do that again and maybe share it again. Please let me know if it is now visible.
So not on full screen. Near the zoom option where 69% is written, there is a this tab. You can click on it.
Ribhu, I can quickly narrate the admission process. Maybe
Yeah, that will be great. Yes.
it will be more helpful. So anybody and everybody who's interested in Jindal School of Languages and Literature, they should understand that we have 3 rounds for selection. The first round is about the online application process, and we have already opened up the applications for 2022 enrollments. This will include writing a personal statement and answering some supplemental questions. The application fees at OP Jindal is 3,000 rupees for Jindal School of Languages. You should have successfully completed your grade 12 from any recognized board, that is your CBSE, ISC, State Board, IB, Cambridge, or any other government recognized board. Apart from that, round 2 will consist of a standard entrance test, which was also mentioned by Dennis. We consider the JSAT scores, the SAT, and the ACT scores. And in the round 3, we will have an interview call arranged by the faculty for you. So there are 3 rounds. I will reiterate. It's round 1, application completion. Applications have opened up for 2022 year. Application fees is 3,000 rupees. Round 2, JSAT, SAT, or ACT is required. And round 3, we need a faculty interaction arranged for you on the phone. Apart from this, we have the tuition fees, which is mentioned here. There was somebody who asked in the session. The tuition fee for Jindal School of Languages and Literature is 3 lakh rupees per year, followed by the residential cost, which is rupees 2,76,000 rupees per year. So for now, we are not charging the students the residential cost because they are not using the offline mode of education. They are in the online mode of education. In case we open the residential facilities, we will be charging you for the residential fees as well. I will also request my colleague to type our contact details on the chat box so that students can get in touch with us for campus visits. If students are interested to visit our campus, have a look at it, or even know more about the course and the application process, you're most welcome to visit us throughout the week on working days, Monday to Friday. On the weekend, it is going to be with an appointment. So I am going to now stop sharing my slide.
Great. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the nice presentation. Okay, students, a couple of questions you asked me. So somebody asked me about Korean language. Maybe if I was you, I would start playing around with Duolingo, and also I would look at Korean Cultural Center. You can go there. They do have a training for language. So a lot of I have a lot of friends who learned, or even students who went to Alliance to learn French. So like this,
Any
there are
courses for children
centers.
who are still in
May I answer that
Yes,
question? If I'm
please,
audible?
please. Yeah, please.
Hi, am I audible?
Now you are slightly like coming with a lag, but now you are audible.
Okay. Yeah. One of the questions chatted in was, are there programs for children in school? The answer is yes. I cannot give you specific information, but in my presentation, I mentioned the Global Languages Center, GLC, of OPJINDAL Global University, which does conduct workshops with teachers, mainly teachers from schools and language institutes. And they've had some summer programs for school children. So if you go to the university website and you look up Global Languages Center, you should see some information about any upcoming programs for people who are still in school. Of course, you're probably all still in school now, but you may be applying for a program that begins in 2022. If you're not that far along, if you're in class 10th or 11th or something, we do have several summer workshops, language workshops for students who've not completed class 12th yet.
Great. And then I saw another question. Uh, what is the best language? See, it depends, Dipanshi Pant. It depends, what do you want to do with it? Like some people come to me and say, eventually I want to settle in Canada. Then what language you'll advise? Then I would say, okay, if you're looking at Quebec region, then take up French. Or if somebody would say, I want to settle in Austria, Switzerland, even Germany, then German language. So depending on which region you are looking at, which region you are targeting, accordingly, one would choose. Also, in terms of education, again, there's a lot of action happening. So in the last 3 to 4 years, I've seen a lot of action in Europe also. I had a student, he went to IE Business School in Spain. So he then, after going there, he learned Spanish. So depending on where you want to do, accordingly you will decide. Yeah. Okay, great. So maybe I'll just complete my PPT. There are 2, 3 slides more I quickly wanted to share with you. Ribhu, if you'll be kind enough to put it on, I'll just come. Meanwhile, any questions you have, guys, just let it roll. Just let it come. So these are the add-ons. Like you can side by side with the language, with a foreign language or English. You can look at journalism, mass communication courses. You can look at entrepreneurship programs, like management programs also. Yeah, data analytics also you can do. There are a lot of 9 month, 1 year programs in data analytics or business analytics. Yeah, some people learn language with CSCS also. Why? They want to work in those countries or places where those languages are being used. Yeah, so CFA will put you into financial or corporate governance kind of areas. Law can be undertaken. Yeah, Tarana, the name of the website, check Korean Cultural Center. Like each embassy has a cultural center. You can check that. YMCA also does a lot of short-term language programs. YMCA here in Delhi, Jaising Road, Connaught Place, they also do a lot of programs. So next, please. Of course, in case you're confused, you can come to us. We guys do the best aptitude testing and career counseling. Even if you're looking at going abroad, so we have services. You can come to us. We can help you with it. If I look at top universities, then JNU has been so many years, it has been running this 5 year program after 12th for languages, foreign languages. Delhi University has Institute of Germanic Studies where other languages are also taught. OPJINDAL, we have been speaking about, Dr. Dennis is from there and so on. Jamia Millia Islamia, BHU, yeah, Pune University. So these are the things which you could look at. Next. I'm thinking about German language. Yeah, this is a good language to look at for your career in Goethe Institute Delhi. Yes, you can look at it, Dipanshi. Okay, we have other programs also coming up. So careers in design. So where I'll be there along with Yan. Yan is from École Intute. That's an institute in France, and we'll be discussing in detail about careers in design. So you can just connect with us. I suggest to all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you are awakened to whatever new programs we are doing. Also, to connect with Jindal School of Languages and Literature, you can connect with Malini ma'am. Her email ID as well as a phone number is given here, or Mahima. So you can connect with Malini ma'am or Mahima to understand further about languages, how you can build up your career. If you want a campus visit, if you want to go with your parents, so that also you can connect with them and visit, understand, and then choose. Of course, uh, on the screen you can see our social media. So jitinchawla.careerguru is my Instagram ID, and YouTube I've already told you, like Jitin Chawla Center. Again, just search for my name, you'll get it on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, be connected. With this, I wish you all the best. I'm thankful to Malini ma'am, Dr. Dennis, for being in this webinar, for helping students with their career choices in foreign languages and English language. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wish you all the best, people. Be safe, be healthy, and be very successful. Thank you.
Thank you.